Juanita Payne was a woman whose life was measured in double shifts and student loans. Her only goal was to get through her social work degree with her brother still alive and her integrity intact. But on a bitter Chicago night, she found a wallet, a sleek piece of black leather packed with enough cash to erase every debt that was drowning her. The owner was Kang No-seok, a man whose name turned whispers into silence across the city's shipping docks. What Juanita didn't know, as she picked up that bistro phone with trembling fingers, was that she hadn't just found a lost item. She had stumbled into a deliberate, high-stakes test. Returning the wallet was the right thing to do, but it was also the first irreversible step into a world ruled by a calculating predator who only rewards those he can control. Juanita Payne was an anchor in a chaotic sea. At 24, she balanced the polished trays of Bellamy's Bistro, an upscale establishment where Chicago's elite discussed million-dollar deals over plates that cost more than her rent, with the relentless demands of her night classes at Roosevelt University. She was practical, focused, and knew the value of a dollar, usually the folded kind left grudgingly on top of receipts that made her stomach turn. Her natural hair, styled in carefully maintained twists that framed her face, seemed to catch the warm bistro lighting even during the exhausting final hours of her shift, and her genuine smile was a practiced shield against the casual condescension of wealthy patrons. She was driven by an uncompromising vision, a degree in social work, a life helping families like her own navigate the system, and a world where she didn't have to choose between her brother's medication and her tuition. That dream was her North Star, but the path to it was a long, exhausting march through service industry wages and maximum sacrifice. It was 11:30 p.m. and the bistro was winding down. Juanita was resetting tables in her section, her mind already calculating whether she could afford both her brother's insulin refill and the transit pass for next week. Her feet throbbed, a familiar dull complaint against the polished hardwood floor. She glanced toward the last occupied booth, booth number 12, tucked in the corner near the frosted windows, observing the man who had been her final customer. He was a study in controlled intensity. Dressed in a black suit that seemed to absorb the room's warm light, he had a stark, almost predatory elegance. Sharp jawline, dark hair swept back with precision, and eyes that missed nothing. His presence had been a singular, heavy weight in the usually sophisticated atmosphere of Bellamy's. He had only ordered a single espresso, consumed it slowly without adding sugar or cream, paid in cash with a pristine $100 bill, and left without making eye contact. His movements were precise and silent. He was the kind of customer who left a wake of tension, not conversation. As Juanita began clearing the table, folding the linen napkin and collecting the untouched water glass, her hand swept over the plush leather banquette. Her fingers brushed against something solid and cold, nestled deep between the seat cushion and the mahogany wall panel. It was a wallet, not just any wallet. It was made of rich, supple black leather, Italian by the feel of it, and it felt heavy, substantial, and unmistakably expensive. The quality was undeniable, the kind of item designed to last decades and only grow more distinguished with age, a stark contrast to the disposable world she inhabited. A wave of profound unease washed over her. The gravity of the object felt disproportionate to the routine nature of her work. It was a piece of a life that operated on a completely different level than hers, a level she'd only ever glimpsed from the other side of a serving tray. She slid into the booth and opened it carefully, just enough to glimpse the contents. Inside, there wasn't the usual clutter of credit, cards, receipts, or family photos, the comfortable debris of a normal person's life. There were multiple stacks of crisp, sequential $100 bills, at least 100 of them, arranged with military precision. Next to the money was a driver's license. Name, Kang No-seok. The photo showed the man who had just left, his expression impassive and unsettlingly intense, his dark eyes radiating an almost palpable authority. The address listed was in Gold Coast, a neighborhood she'd only ever seen from bus windows, reserved for the city's most powerful and most dangerous residents. There was also something else, a small, high-security digital keycard, matte black with a single red indicator light, no branding or identification marks visible, suggesting access to something very private, very valuable, and very likely illegal. Before we dive in, take a moment to hit that subscribe button, give a like, and drop a comment letting me know where you're watching from. It means so much to me, more than you know, to see our storytelling family growing, reaching corners of the world I never imagined. Every click, every comment, every ounce of love you share fuels our journey to uncover these unforgettable stories. So, find your cozy spot, settle in, and let me guide you to a place you've never been before. The espresso cup shatters against the marble floor before Juanita's brain registers her own trembling hands. Dark liquid spreads across white tile like spilled ink, and she freezes, her red vest suddenly too tight across her chest. Booth 12. The man in black hasn't flinched. He simply watches her with eyes that catalog every micro-movement, every shallow breath. The bistro's jazz soundtrack feels obscene in the silence that follows. When a $100 bill lands on your table at 11:30 p.m., you don't ask questions. You should. My apologies, sir. Her voice cracks on the second word. She crouches, gathering ceramic shards with fingers that won't stop shaking, and the floor beneath, her knees feels cold enough to burn. When she rises, he's still staring, not at her face, at her name tag. Juanita. He says it like he's testing the weight of it. His accent wraps around the syllables, precise and foreign. Bring me another. No sugar. She nods, turns. Her shoulder blades prickle with the certainty that he's still watching. In the kitchen, under fluorescent lights that hum like trapped insects, she braces against the stainless steel counter. Her reflection in the espresso machine looks pale. Wrong. The countdown on her phone glows accusingly. 6 days until her brother's insurance lapse. 143 hours. She's been counting in minutes lately. When she returns, her hands are steady. She sets the cup down without meeting his eyes, but she can smell him now. Expensive cologne cut with something sharper. Cigarettes. Gunpowder, maybe. Her grandmother's voice echoes in her skull. When a wolf sits at your table, you don't feed him. You run. You work 2 jobs. It's not a question. His fingers drum once against the table's edge, a deliberate rhythm that makes her think of executions. Roosevelt University, night classes, social work major. The air leaves her lungs. How do you... Your textbook. He gestures to her bag behind the counter, where her Intro to Clinical Practice manual sits half visible. But that's a lie. She knows it's a lie. The book's spine isn't visible from here. He's done research. On her. She takes 1 step back. The bistro suddenly feels smaller, the exposed brick walls pressing inward. Other patrons blur into meaningless shapes. There's only Booth 12 and the man whose suit probably costs more than her yearly tuition. I don't know what you want, she whispers. Everyone wants something, Juanita. He slides a pristine $100 bill across the table. The espresso costs $4. The question is whether they're brave enough to take it. He stands. 6 foot something of controlled violence wrapped in Italian wool. He doesn't touch his drink, doesn't look back. The door chimes as he exits, and the November wind that rushes in carries the smell of Lake Michigan snow and something darker, something that tastes like metal on her tongue. Juanita stands frozen at booth 12, staring at the $100 bill, at the untouched espresso growing cold, at the empty seat where a predator sat and somehow learned her name, her school, her desperation. Beneath the cushion, hidden in shadow, a black leather wallet waits like a loaded gun. What she doesn't know, the wallet isn't lost. It's bait, and she just became prey. What a life. Juanita's fingernails scrape leather as she pulls the wallet free from Booth 12's crevice. The weight is wrong. Too heavy, too deliberate. Her pulse hammers against her wrists as she flips it open under the table's edge, hidden from the security cameras mounted in opposite corners. $10,000. She counts twice. Her vision tunnels. Each bill is crisp, sequential. Like they came straight from a bank vault. Or a safe. The kind of safe that requires armed guards. Her brother's face flashes behind her eyes. Malik, 17, wheezing in their studio apartment because his inhaler ran out 3 days ago. The eviction notice taped to their door. The student loan payment due in 72 hours. Her grandmother's voice cuts through the math. A stolen life is a heavy burden, baby girl, heavier than any debt. But this isn't stealing, this is returning. Her thumb traces Kang No-seok's driver's license photo. Gold Coast address, the kind of neighborhood where her uniform would get her stopped by private security. Below the cash, something else catches the dim light. A matte black card with a single red LED, blinking once every 3 seconds like a heartbeat. No logo, no numbers, just that rhythmic pulse. Secret 1, this much cash doesn't get lost. Secret 2, the card is biometric, probably tracking her fingerprints right now. Secret 3, the man who sat here knew exactly what he was leaving behind. Secret 4, she's already holding evidence. The kitchen timer dings. Midnight, the bistro's closing procedures echo from the back, chairs scraping, dishwashers roaring. Juanita's manager will check the dining room in 5 minutes. 4, 3. She slides the wallet into her apron pocket. The leather burns against her hip like a brand. Her hands shake as she wipes down the table, erasing the circular water ring where his untouched espresso sat. The $100 bill is gone. She pocketed it without thinking, her body making decisions her brain refuses to authorize. In the staff bathroom, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, she stares at her reflection. Sweat beads at her temples despite the November cold seeping through the cracked window. She pulls out her phone. No-seok's business card, the one he left beside the 100, lists a single phone number. No company name, no title. Her finger hovers over the keypad. 143 hours until Malik's insurance expires, until the medication stops, until his lungs give out in their sleep. She dials. The phone rings once, twice. Silence stretches like a noose. Then, "You found it." His voice is silk over razor blades. "I knew you would. The trap doesn't snap when you step in it. It snaps when you try to escape. Do you know? You found it." His voice cuts through the phone line like a scalpel. "I knew you would." When a predator answers on the first ring, he's been waiting for you to call. Juanita's back slams against the bathroom tile. The phone nearly slips from her sweat-slicked palm. Her throat closes. Opens. Nothing comes out. "Speak." A command. Not a request. The single word carries the weight of a man who's never been told no. "You have 30 seconds before I assume you're wasting my time. Her voice cracks. She swallows hard, tasting copper. "I have your wallet, Mr. Kang. You left it at Bellamy's. I wanted to return it." He sounds amused now, a predator, toying with trapped prey. How admirably predictable. Silence. 5 seconds. 10. She can hear him breathing, measured and controlled, while her own lungs are screaming. "Tell me, Juanita Payne of 847 South Kedzie Avenue, apartment 2C, did you count it?" Her knees buckle. She slides down the wall until she's crouched on cold tile that smells of industrial bleach and old pipes. He knows her address, her full name. He's been inside her life like a surgeon inside a body. "The money's all there," she whispers. "I didn't." "Of course you didn't." His accent wraps around the words, Korean inflections cutting through perfect English. That's precisely why you're calling. You're one of those rare, unfortunate creatures who believes honesty is currency. A pause. It's not. It's ammunition. Through the bathroom door, she hears her manager calling final lockup. 2 minutes. The LED on the wallet's digital card pulses in her apron pocket. Once, twice, 3 times. Syncing with her racing. Heartbeat like it's reading her biometrics. Cataloging her terror. There's a black Mercedes outside your apartment building. His voice drops to something darker. Intimate. Driver's name is Chen. He'll be waiting at 1:15 a.m. That gives you 23 minutes to decide if you're brave or just foolish. I don't understand. You will. The line goes dead. Juanita stares at her phone's black screen. Her reflection stares back. Wide eyes, parted lips, the face of a woman who just realized she's been hunted. The bathroom door rattles. Her manager's voice, Juanita, we're locking up. Outside, through the frosted window, she can see it. A black Mercedes. Idling. Exhaust rising like smoke signals in the November cold. When a wolf offers you a ride, you don't ask where you're going. You already know. The Mercedes door locks click the moment Juanita's hand touches the wallet. She freezes on the sidewalk outside her building, November wind cutting through her thin jacket like a promise of violence. The driver's window descends with a mechanical whisper. Ms. Payne. Chen's face is surgical precision. 50-something, scar tissue threading his left eyebrow, eyes that have witnessed things that leave permanent marks. Mr. Kang is expecting his property. She thrusts the wallet forward. Her arm shakes. Here, tell him, get in. 2 words. A door swings open from inside, pushed by an invisible hand. I'm just returning it. I don't need a ride, I don't... Your brother Malik. Chen's voice drops to conversational, which somehow makes it worse. 17. Asthma. Highland Hospital emergency room. 3 visits this month alone. He pulls out a manila envelope, thick as a Bible. Mr. Kang doesn't accept debts. Consider this a receipt. When a stranger knows your brother's name, the transaction stopped being optional. The envelope lands in her shaking hands before her brain authorizes her fingers to close around it. It's heavy. Wrong. The paper feels expensive, the kind used for legal documents or ransom notes. I didn't ask for anything, she whispers. You called. Chen's smile doesn't reach the scar. That was the ask. He nods toward the envelope. Open it. Her fingernails tear the seal. Inside, a cashier's check, $15,000. Made out to Highland Hospital, account notation. Malik Payne, full coverage, 12 months. Beneath it, a second document. Roosevelt University, letterhead. Tuition paid in full, spring semester. The sidewalk tilts. She grabs the car door to stay upright. Her vision swims. No. The word comes out strangled. I can't accept this. I won't. You already did. Chen gestures to her hands, still gripping the papers. Your fingerprints are on the check. The hospital received electronic notification 6 minutes ago. Your brother's insurance activates at midnight. He checks his watch. 4 minutes from now. Secret 1. They've been tracking her brother. Secret 2. The transaction was completed before she touched the envelope. Secret 3. Her prints are now evidence of acceptance. Secret 4. No Seok planned this before she even found the wallet. This is a trap, she breathes. No, Ms. Payne. Chen's window rises, glass reflecting her pale, horrified face back at her. This is an investment. Mr. Kang will be in touch about the returns he expects. The Mercedes pulls away, red tail lights disappearing into Chicago's midnight streets like demon eyes blinking shut. Juanita stands alone on the sidewalk, holding 15,000 reasons why she just sold something she can't name. Her phone buzzes, A text from an unknown number. Your brother breathes easier tonight. Remember that when I call again. K. When the devil pays your debts, the bill comes due in pieces of your soul. The sociology textbook flies from Juanita's hands, clattering across the table hard enough to make 3 students look up from their laptops. Kang No-seok sits in the chair opposite her, a chair that was empty 30 seconds ago, wearing the same black suit that swallows light. He didn't make a sound, didn't clear his throat, just materialized like smoke taking shape. You're avoiding me. His voice is library quiet, but it cuts through the hushed third-floor study area like a blade through silk. I find that unwise. When a predator sits across from you in a library, the silence is louder than screaming. Her throat constricts. The Roosevelt University Library suddenly feels like a cage. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking State Street, but the exit is behind him, past those controlled, predatory eyes. Her laptop screen casts blue light across his sharp features, making him look almost inhuman. I'm studying. Her voice barely registers. I have an exam in 48 hours. He slides a folder across the scarred wooden table. Burgundy leather, embossed with initials she doesn't recognize. You'll pass. I've seen your transcripts. 3.7 GPA while working 50 hours a week. Impressive. Unsustainable. The folder sits between them like a contract written in blood. She doesn't touch it. How did you get my transcripts? The same way I got your brother's medical records. His fingers drum once. That same execution rhythm from the bistro. The same way I accessed your student loan statements, your landlord's eviction patterns, your mother's death certificate from 2019. He tilts his head. Did you know she listed systemic failure as contributing cause? The healthcare system killed her. Slowly, legally. Juanita's jaw clenches hard enough to crack molars. Her mother's face flashes behind her eyes. The hospital bed, the mounting bills, the doctors who stopped listening. Don't. One word. Venomous. Open it. Not a request. Her hands move without permission. Inside the folder, architectural renderings of a building she doesn't recognize. Glass and steel, 30 stories, lakefront property. Below that, corporate documents. Payne Global Logistics, LLC, Chief Executive Officer Juanita Payne. Her name, her signature, forged perfectly at the bottom. Secret 1, he's created a company in her name. Secret 2, her signature exists on documents she's never seen. Secret 3, the building is real. She can see the address, Gold Coast, 3 blocks from his registered residence. Secret 4, she's already CEO of something she doesn't control. This is identity theft, she whispers. This is opportunity. He leans forward. She can smell him now, that same cologne and gunpowder combination, mixed with something else. Old books, blood, power. You return one wallet, I give you an empire. All you do is show up, sign what I tell you to sign, and ask no questions about the shipments that move through your ports. My ports. Her laugh sounds unhinged, too loud for the library. A librarian shoots them a warning glance. I'm a waitress. You were a waitress. He taps the CEO document. As of 9 a.m. this morning, you're a businesswoman. The paperwork is filed. The board meeting is Tuesday. You have 72 hours to decide if you accept this future or spend the next decade explaining to federal investigators why your fingerprints are on my wallet, my digital key, and $15,000 in hospital payments you can't account for. The countdown clock in her head screams. 72 hours, 3 days. Her brother's insurance expires in 6 months if she doesn't accept. Her tuition is paid, but only for 1 semester. After that, she's back to drowning. I never asked for this, she breathes. You called me. His smile is surgical. You invited the wolf to dinner, Juanita. Don't be surprised when he expects you to cook. He stands. adjusts his cufflinks, platinum engraved with Korean characters she can't read. The folder remains on the table, a landmine disguised as opportunity. 72 hours, he repeats. Chen will collect you Monday at 8 a.m. Wear something powerful. You're addressing your board of directors. He pauses at the edge of her study, Carol. And Juanita, your brother gets his nebulizer refilled tomorrow. I made sure of that too. He walks away. His footsteps don't make a sound on the library carpet. Juanita sits frozen, staring at documents that bear her name but not her consent, realizing that No Seok didn't just pay her debts. He purchased her future, receipt included, and the return policy expired the moment she picked up that phone. When you sell your soul in installments, you don't realize you're empty until the final payment clears. The champagne flute shatters in Juanita's hand during month 3, cutting a thin red line across her palm that she doesn't feel until blood drips onto the white marble counter. Her new apartment, penthouse they call it, 42nd floor with Lake Michigan spreading below like dark glass, has floor-to-ceiling windows that make her feel exposed, even at 2 a.m. She watches her reflection bleed. A woman in a silk robe she didn't buy, standing in a kitchen that costs more than her childhood home. The cameras are everywhere. She found the first one in week 2, embedded in the bathroom mirror's frame. Then the smoke detector in the bedroom, the bookshelf, the thermostat. She stopped looking after that, stopped counting. Now she just performs for invisible eyes. When the walls have cameras hidden in the crown molding, luxury becomes surveillance. Her phone buzzes, always buzzing. Chen's messages arrive like clockwork. Board meeting, 9 a.m. Sign the attached documents. Mr. Kang requires your presence at the shipping yard, 11 p.m. She signs. She shows up. She asks nothing about the containers that arrive at midnight, the manifests written in Korean, the men with hollow eyes who unload cargo that makes no sound when it moves. 5 months. 152 days since the library. She's lost 15 pounds. Her hands shake when she signs her name. Her real signature now, not the forgery, which somehow makes it worse. She's authenticating her own imprisonment. The apartment smells like money. Leather furniture, imported wood, something antiseptic underneath, like they're cleaning away evidence of her existence every time she leaves. Her Roosevelt textbooks sit unopened on the granite counter, relics from a life that ended in a library study, Carol. Secret 1. The apartment lease is in her name, linking her to property purchased with laundered funds. Secret 2. Every signature she's placed on shipping documents creates a paper trail leading directly to her. Secret 3. Her bank account now holds $847,000 she never earned. Secret 4. Malik's medical records show treatments she didn't authorize, keeping him healthy and her complicit. The doorbell rings. 2:17 a.m. She hasn't given anyone the code. Through the peephole. No Seok. In the hallway. Waiting. She doesn't remember walking to the door. Her hand turns the lock. The champagne blood makes the handle slippery. You're not sleeping, he observes. Not a question. He steps inside without invitation, and the apartment suddenly feels smaller despite its 3,000 square feet. Neither am I. We should talk about your future. I don't have a future. Her voice sounds dead. You own that too. His smile is surgical precision. Not yet, but in 48 hours, you'll sign the offshore account transfers. Then I'll own everything. He closes the door behind him. The lock clicks like a cell shutting, including the part of you that still believes this was a choice. When the cage is lined with silk, you forget you can't leave until you try. The burner phone, the one Chen gave her for emergencies only, the one she's never touched, screams from the bathroom drawer, vibrating against porcelain like a trapped insect dying. Juanita's eyes snap open in the silk-sheeted darkness. Her heart slams against her ribs hard enough to bruise from the inside. That phone has never rung, not once in 5 months. When your phone rings at 3:45 a.m., you already know the life you had is over. She stumbles from bed, bare feet silent on heated floors that cost more than her mother's funeral. The bathroom light burns her retinas. The phone's screen shows no caller ID, just a countdown timer already at 00:43 and dropping. 43 seconds. She's already lost 17. Her thumb answers. She doesn't speak. Get out. Chen's voice, stripped of its usual controlled courtesy, sounds like gravel scraping concrete. Now, don't take anything. Don't lock the door. Fire exit, not the elevator. You have 8 minutes before they breach your floor. Who? Federal task force. They've been watching you for 6 weeks. His breathing sounds labored. Wrong. The offshore accounts triggered the investigation. Mr. Kang wants you contained, not arrested. Move. The line dies. The countdown timer switches to 07:54. 07:53. 07:52. Her legs lock. The marble under her feet suddenly feels like ice. Like she's standing on a frozen lake that's already cracking. Through the bedroom doorway, she can see her Roosevelt diploma on the wall, framed, paid for, worthless. Her laptop on the kitchen counter, filled with 5 months of incriminating signatures. Malik's photo on the nightstand, his smile, wide and healthy, bought with blood money. Secret 1. They've been watching her, not No Seok. Secret 2. She's the target, the fall girl, exactly as designed. Secret 3. The offshore accounts were the trap's trigger mechanism. Secret 4. Chen's warning means No Seok is cutting her loose, leaving evidence behind. The apartment door shudders. Someone's picking the lock. She hears it. Metal, scraping metal, professional and fast. 06:47, 06:46, 06:45. She runs. The fire exit door slams behind her, and 17 floors of concrete stairs spiral down into darkness. Her silk pajamas catch on the emergency lighting fixtures. Her lungs scream. Above her, boots thunder on the landing. Multiple sets, tactical gear that makes the stairwell sound like a war zone. Federal agents. Stop! She doesn't stop. Can't stop. The stairs blur into an endless descent, each step taking her further from the golden cage and closer to whatever hell No Seok designed for women who believe honesty is currency. At ground level, the emergency exit opens onto an alley that smells of rotting garbage and Lake Michigan wind. A black sedan idles in the shadows, passenger door already open. Chen behind the wheel, blood on his collar, eyes that have accepted death. Get in, he rasps. This is your last choice. After this, you belong to him completely. Behind her, the stairwell door explodes open. Flashlights, shouting. The federal task force spills into the alley like water breaking through a dam. When they give you 8 minutes to choose between prison and servitude, you learn that freedom was always an illusion. The battering ram hits her apartment door 3 times before the reinforced lock shatters. Juanita huddles in Chen's sedan 2 blocks away, watching through tinted windows as federal agents in tactical vests swarm her building like ants claiming a corpse. 17 of them. She counts. Her hands won't stop shaking. When they read you your rights at gunpoint, every signature you ever made becomes a confession. They planned this for 8 weeks. Chen's voice sounds wet, damaged. The blood on his collar is fresh. Surveillance, wiretaps, forensic accountants. You signed 247 documents. Every single one is evidence. Her breath fogs the window. On the 42nd floor, flashlight beams strobe through her penthouse windows like a lighthouse warning of rocks ahead. They're photographing everything. The laptop, the signed shipping manifests, the offshore account statements she never knew existed until they appeared in her email with her electronic signature already attached. I didn't know, she whispers. I didn't. Your fingerprints are on the digital key. Chen pulls out a tablet, pulls up a federal warrant. Her photo, her name. Juanita Payne, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, money laundering, racketeering. The charges scroll for 3 screens. They have your DNA from the wallet, your signature on 183 wire, transfers totaling $47 million. Your biometric data on encrypted files used in the cyber heist from 6 months ago. Secret 1. The wallet was never about returning it. It was about leaving her DNA imprints on the digital key used in a massive crime. Secret 2. No Seok chose her specifically because a black waitress with a sick brother is invisible to law enforcement until she becomes the perfect suspect. Secret 3. Every gift he gave her created a paper trail pointing directly at her while he remained untouchable. Secret 4. Her integrity was the weapon he used to frame her. The tablet shows surveillance footage. Her in the library, accepting the burgundy folder. Her at the shipping yard at midnight, signing. Manifests beside containers filled with, the report says, unregistered pharmaceuticals worth $18 million. Her at the bank, depositing checks she doesn't remember touching. I never went to that bank, she breathes. Deep fake. Chen taps the screen. His people are very good. You went to class that day, but the cameras say otherwise. Through the windshield, 2 black SUVs screech to a stop outside her building. More agents, dogs, a mobile command unit. The building's night security guard is handcuffed, screaming that he doesn't know anything. Her phone vibrates. No Seok. A video message. She presses play with trembling fingers. He's in his estate, that room she's never seen but heard about, all antiseptic white and concentrated fear. He's smiling. Hello, Juanita. By now you understand. You were never the CEO. You were the scapegoat. The clean history, the desperate circumstances, the moral character, all of it made you the perfect vessel for guilt. He leans closer to the camera. Fight this, and Malik's medical records get audited. They'll discover the unauthorized treatments, the forged insurance claims. He goes to prison too. Or, pause, surgical. You accept your new position. My silence for your servitude. You have 12 hours to decide. The video ends. Chen's engine idles. Ahead lies the expressway, escape, some version of survival where she's owned completely. Behind lies the federal task force, prison, and the truth that will destroy her brother. 12 hours. 7:20 minutes. The countdown clock has always been ticking. When the trap finally springs, you realize you were caught the moment you chose to be honest. Juanita's thumb hovers over the delete key, the one that will erase $47 million from encrypted servers no Seok doesn't know she can access. The digital key, the same one from the wallet 8 months ago, glows red in her other hand, synchronized to her biometrics now, reprogrammed by a hacker who owed her dead mother a favor. She stands in No Seok's estate office, that antiseptic white room that smells like bleach and concentrated fear, and watches his face drain of color for the first time since they met. When you walk into a predator's den unarmed, you'd better have already pulled the trigger. You can't. His voice cracks. Actually cracks. That key is red only. You designed it for your fingerprints. She tilts the screen so he can see the deletion sequence already running. 90 seconds until the offshore accounts zero out. I redesigned it for mine. Turns out, when you force someone's DNA onto evidence, you also give them access. His hand moves toward the desk drawer. Gun, probably. Chen's body blocks him before the motion completes. Chen, who's been bleeding in silence for 4 hours, who finally chose a side when No Seok called Malik acceptable collateral damage. 80 seconds. Everything you built, Juanita continues, her voice steady despite her hammering. Pulse, Every shell corporation, every encrypted account, every shipment manifest, it's all linked to this key. Delete it, and the FBI gets fragments, useless fragments that lead nowhere. She steps closer. The antiseptic smell intensifies. Or I keep it intact. Feed them everything, with annotations, timestamps, your voice on every recorded transaction. Secret 1. She's been recording every interaction since month 2, the moment she found the first camera. Secret 2. The hacker gave her more than access. He gave her copies, backups, insurance stored in 3 countries. Secret 3. No Siok's empire is built on a single point of failure, and she's holding it. Secret 4. Chen's been leaking information to her for 6 weeks, his penance for participating in her destruction. 60 seconds. What do you want? No Siok's jaw clenches. She can see the calculation behind his eyes, the predator assessing whether she's bluffing. My brother's medical records, scrubbed. My name, removed from every document, every account, every transaction. Her finger hovers. 50 seconds. And I become your partner, not your pawn, not your scapegoat, your equal. I sign nothing without understanding it. I approve nothing without veto power. And if you ever threaten Malik again... She holds up her phone, showing a countdown timer of her own. This trigger sends everything to the FBI, the SEC, and the Washington Post simultaneously. 40 seconds. The silence stretches. Chen's breathing sounds labored, wet. No Siok's hand flex, unflex. The office suddenly feels smaller, the white walls pressing inward like a closing fist. You'll never be clean again, No Siok finally says. I stopped being clean the moment I answered your call. She lowers the key. 30 seconds. But I'll be alive, and I'll be in control. Those are my terms. His smile returns, surgical and cold. You've learned well. Very well. He extends his hand across the desk that costs more than her childhood. Welcome to the shadows, Ms. Payne. You'll find the view is different when you're the one casting them. She doesn't take his hand. She saves the files instead. Preservation, not deletion, and watches his relief war with his rage. The trap she walked into 8 months ago has become a cage they now share, but this time she's holding the key. When you can't escape the darkness, you learn to make it bow.